David Calvert coming your way with another Monday Marriage Minute. We've been talking about the four horsemen of the apocalypse. This is a series of behaviors or patterns in arguments or in conflict observed in couples. It's based on the research of a marriage therapist slash psychologist named John Gottman. He and his wife, who is also a psychologist, have an institute in Seattle, Washington, where they actually not only treat couples for marriage problems, but they also have studied for years patterns among couples, including patterns of conflict. And they identified these four patterns that they call the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Last week, we talked about criticism. That's the first of the four horsemen. Criticism, if it's ignored or not dealt with, will usually progress to the second of the four horsemen that we're going to talk about today, and that is contempt. So, in other words, if the criticism is either ignored or discounted, or if the partner makes promises to make changes but then doesn't follow through on them, usually the partner who had the criticism will evolve into a sort of contempt for their spouse. It can be as easy as rolling the eyes or a sneer or some cutting remarks, but if it progresses, it will even be blatant disrespect, bad names for their spouse, calling them loser or worse. Those are some of the things that contempt involves. It gets to where the person or both partners can't hardly stand to be around each other. That's when it has progressed to contempt. It's not a good situation at all. The antidote for contempt is showing appreciation and giving your spouse the benefit of the doubt. It's assuming the best about your spouse. It's learning to doubt your doubts about your spouse's motives or intentions, not assuming to believe that they just don't care anymore. It's not assigning the worst possible motivation for their behavior. So if you're struggling in the area of feelings of contempt for your spouse, if criticism is getting worse and you find yourself developing feelings of contempt, that's not a good situation. I would love to help you. You can find out more about me on my website, davidcalvertlpc.com. Click on the button that says book an appointment. Let's get together and talk. We'll see you next week with another Monday Marriage Minute. God bless.